Oh boy, it's that time again! I found out about a new obscure game mechanic, and I'm gonna ramble on for roughly 8 minutes about all the new stuff you can make with it. But you probably won't, cause guess what? We've got coloured LEDs in vanilla, baby! So before I can show all the cool stuff, I need to actually explain what this technology is. Now, I first heard about this from Crafty Masterman, but apparently he did not invent it. The guy who came up with it is some Brazilian YouTuber called Vilacinius, who's apparently incredibly popular, but I've never heard of him because I don't speak Portuguese. But the basic idea of it is, I have just this lime green map art, which is just a field of emeralds. When I block this off with tinted glass, as you can see, it suddenly goes really dark. But if I illuminate it with a redstone lamp at the back, you can see it actually lights up. So if we actually hook this up, we can sort of have a trigger activated LED. And because it's map art, we can make this anything we want. And I first saw this and my mind was like, oh boy, I can make a whole bunch of cool stuff with this. And that's what I've done. So my first idea to make with this is an open sign at a store. So here we have what is presumably some sort of Walmart or whatnot. You can enter through the front door and buy your goods. No idea where the checkout is, but we have an open sign here. However, I like adding a bit of dynamicism to the world, right? So what I've done is I've hooked it up to a daylight sensor. So when it suddenly becomes midnight, the open sign closes and the shutter's door actually closes as well. So like the store is completely shut. And of course, when it turns daytime again, we're back open for business. Woo! However, these lamp displays do have a bit of a tiny issue. And that is, what if I only want to light up one pixel and not the whole row? Because currently the light just like bleeds through and lights up both of them. Bit annoying. What if I only want one on? Well, what we can do instead is we can actually replace the item frames with glow item frames, so they're always illuminated no matter the power level. We get rid of that lamp, and instead of like turning a light on or off, we actually have dispensers behind the map art with powdered snow. You can see it's actually being blocked by the powdered snow. So now we have a choice: do we want both off, or one on, or both on? So we actually have some control over it, and this I found way more useful. The first thing I made with this is this little status meter where we can see, oh man, we're so back. But when I hit this button, oh, it's so over. Oh, but don't worry, we're so back. See, it's just stupid. This is the first thing I just came up with. Just this stupid like flick so you can change this. But then I started thinking, well, if we have this image moving like up and down, that means we can sort of animate stuff with it, right? So I tried something else. This is the problem with this world. I make stuff and I can never re-find it. Where did I put it? It was over here somewhere. So what I came up with next was this big black screen over here. And the idea is when I flick on this lever, arrows should appear going left to right. And in my head, this was sort of like a road signal. Like you can imagine you're on a racetrack going, oh, I gotta turn right. How this actually works, if I remove this screen, you can see it's actually just fully powdered snow, but the snow is being removed strategically in a line to reveal the yellow map art underneath. I actually installed a resource pack to remove the powdered snow like particles, so this looks like way, like you can see it now, this is just like arrows going left to right. To give you an extra idea, I actually stole this piece of an ice boat racing track from a server just to demonstrate this, but if I get in this boat over here and I drive towards the signal, I've added it at the end and you can see like the arrows directing you, that works way better. Look at that, woo! Now something I made absolutely years ago was my redstone love tester. The idea is you press this button and the light randomly moves up and down until it stops, giving you like a hotness rating. Oh yeah, baby, right at the tip! But I thought this map art technology, I can improve this. So here is my new and improved version, but this time we actually have a bit of visuals to go along with your rating, so you can see what I score. Come on. Oh. I mean, that's just kind of mean, really. Now, this map art technology actually has one more cool feature about it. As you can see here, I just have a circle of completely white map arts, but if I was to turn around and grab this, like, tinted glass lens, I was to then move it and place it on top of the white map art, we can see suddenly it has this like really cool shading effect. It looks like a 3D ball. And the reason why is if we go around back, we can see that this one square actually has a glowstone behind it. And what this is doing is this is admitting through here and lighting up the map art strategically in sort of this ball shape. Now, I thought I'd try to make something with this, so I went for an orange one instead, and I added leaves, and I tried to make it look like an orange. I don't think I did a very good job, but the one thing I did try to do with this is I imagined these like big buckets in a factory being like transported by conveyor belt, and then in these buckets we sort of have like goop like swirling about. We have this mysterious magical goop. If I go underneath, we can see all this is just some redstone going round in a circle lighting up these lamps, which in turn is lighting up these map arts. And I'm sure there's tons you could do with this, but this was about what I could come up with on the spot. Another small game idea I had for this is just like rock, paper, scissors. So we have our rock, paper, and scissors in our hands, and I'm gonna go for paper. Let's hit the button and see. Oh, it's gone for the rock. So, I lose. Similar to my racetrack arrow, another idea I had was for a disco floor. So if I turn this on, we can see that like the disco floor actually turns on. And I've timed it so it actually has this perfect checkerboard pattern, which goes like doom, boom, 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 boom. We can actually change the timing and reduce it by 3 ticks each. And instead, it'll actually have this like cool wave effect going on. Right, you know. I prefer the checkerboard pattern, but, you know, you have a bit of choice. Maybe you can make it so it alternates between the two. How this works is it's just sending, like, redstone signals on observers, which then in turn send it round the back there. These observers are looking down at them. That sends it to the powdered snow to activate or deactivate. Super simple stuff. And the last thing I'm going to show you today is probably the most advanced, and when I turn around, it's going to lag. Because what we have here is 2,400 maps arranged in an RGB display screen. As you can see, each pixel has a blue, a green, and a red layer. For those who don't know, this is how your screen you're watching this video on actually works. Each pixel is actually just a blue, red, and green pixel. And what they do is they adjust the brightness of each blue, green, and red. And that is like an illusion to your mind to display different colors. Now, hypothetically, I should be able to display any color image on this screen. It would just take absolutely forever because I have to manually adjust 2,400 values. So I'm gonna go do that. Okay, it's been like 3 hours and I'm back. What I've been doing is just going around all these lecterns and just flicking through the pages, and what this does is it changes the power level for how many lights are actually displayed, and then that triggers each one of these pixels. But hopefully now when we look at it, you should be able to see what looks like an apple. It's not exact. It's like, oh, you can't get too far either, so it's a bit of a problem. It might look better if I take this image and like make it smaller on the screen. I got this idea from JK20, who I saw posting it on Twitter. He got better results than me, so I'll put some of his stuff on screen. I really tried my best. Hypothetically, if you were like some sort of supercomputer knowing redstone person, which is not me, you might be able to hook this onto something, and then you might even be able to get stuff which moves on the screen, as crazy as that might look. But this is where I tap out, because this is breaching my sort of simplicity right here. Ah!